Everybody, it's Anthony Brogdon. Boy, I got a lady on the channel today that this is not her first time coming on Strong Inspirations. And it's crazy because I'll be honest with you. And you know, that's what I do anyway, y'all, my viewers and my family now, is that there have been a few times that I've had to shed a tear. I couldn't take it. What they were saying was messing me up. And she's one of those occasions. She's in a little small town. We're going to talk all about it. You can go to her video, her previous video, but so we're not going to go as in depth on her as we did then. Go check that out because I want to get to the heart of what she's been doing lately. It's a couple years ago when I last talked with her. And I invite people because, you know, in the time that we're locked, that ain't all they know. That's not all that's going, and new things come up. And I want you, my viewers, to learn more about what's happening per the guest. I'm Anthony Brogdon. If I didn't say it, I'll say it right now. I'm an ordinary guy doing something extraordinary through the people who come on the show. So hit the subscribe button. It's free. It don't ask no question. Just let me know you like me. And I appreciate it because I like you already. Hit the like button, hit the notifications bell, and tell somebody about Strong Inspirations. Don't keep it to yourself. Come on now. We're growing because I'm on to something. And check it out. People are now kind of hitting me up saying, I got something that I want to say on your podcast. And I love it. It's interesting stories, and you're going to really love this one. Couple housekeeping notes. If y'all may know, this is the DVD to a movie I've done, which came out in 2017 on the rise of Black business in America. That's my angle. The successes of Black folks, particularly in the area of business, is what I like to talk about. And that film is streaming on Amazon, and then I wrote the book about it to accompany that film. But more thorough, more facts. It's called Black Business Book, and it has actually become America's #1 Black business history book. You got to get you a copy of this. It's easy to, I don't even add no commentary. I just want the fact to stand on its own merit. And it's very reasonably priced because I don't want to have them in my basement, my friends. I want you, my guests, and people around the world to have this book. All right, so go to businessintheblack.net, and there you can learn about where I'm speaking at. And I just was in Alabama. I'm on my way to New York. I'm speaking in Harlem, New York City at the Y. And I'll have a little video posted about that presentation. And then I'm in Philadelphia, and then I'm in Mount Bayou, Mississippi. I'm working with the Black Museum there to extend what they do for their anniversary. That's what I'm doing. I'm just helping you. Let's do more and get more people down. And so there'll be more information about that within the next few weeks. I want you, my viewers, to come on down and join us. We're gonna have a good time. We're gonna have some sessions. We're gonna have some. We're gonna feed you. We're gonna have a gala. We're gonna drink some moonshine. We're gonna do some dancing. And we're gonna rock and roll. Now it's gonna be hot. It's July in Mississippi, but we're gonna do what we can to give you nothing else, some free water, and ask you to cool down. A lot of the activities will be indoors, but we're gonna have a good time. You come hear what's happening in that town because it's very historic, and it's featured in the book. Everybody, now you hear me use this term "strong" a lot. It's my favorite word. I'm gonna keep using that until the day I die. I wanted to somewhere be on my tombstone. He was a strong man or something like that. In my world, strong stands for strength, tenacity, resilience, and a sense of oneness, nobility, and grace. And that is my introduction to the Strong Soul Sister on the channel today. She's back with us once again to tell us more news. Come on, introduce yourself. Let's get it on.
Hello, I am Marian Allen. I am the founder of the Laurel Jones County Black History Museum, located all the way in Laurel, Mississippi.
All right.
So and today, as a matter of fact, as we are videoing today, today is my birthday.
Oh, really?
Celebrating my birthday. I'm 59 and doing fine.
Yes, you are. Oh man, we're gonna sidebar right here. Now, everybody join in for just the one verse. 1, 2, 3. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. And so check this out. She mean that much on her birthday. She taking time to be on here with us. That's significant. Y'all get that, right?
Yes.
All right. So
Yes.
where is your town at? Where what's it near and that kind of thing?
Laurel is 30 miles from Hattiesburg, Mississippi. If you've ever heard of the University of Southern Mississippi, so we're 30 miles south of that. We're like 60 some miles south of the capital, which is Jackson, Mississippi. And so we call us that we sit in the southern part of the state of Mississippi because this is called the Pine Belt region because of all the pine trees that are here. And we do have an airport in our county. So we have the Pine Belt Regional Airport. And Laurel, we have, I would say it's majority Black. I know that it's majority Black. We have a Black African American mayor and 4 council people who are African American. Our claim to fame thus far that put us on the map is a HGTV program called My Hometown. So the Hometown TV show is where this couple, they go around the town and they rehab houses that individuals have bought, and they have been viewed on the HGTV program.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah, and so what major city is Atlanta, New Orleans? What's the
Well,
biggest city near you?
New Orleans is about 2 hours away.
Okay.
And yeah, you can get to the New Orleans in about 2 hours. And we have the Gulf Coast where we have all the casinos and everything. So that's no more than an hour away to
Is that
get to the
Biloxi?
coast. That's Biloxi Gulfport, yes. Where the
Okay.
regional airport is. There's an airport in Gulfport as well. So all
Okay.
of that is about an hour or so away.
Well, were you born in the town? Was that where you were
Yes, I was
born?
born in Laurel, Mississippi. Yes, I was.
Well, how what's the background? How did your family was that what the slave plantation was, that kind of
Well,
thing?
here in Laurel, there was they had slaves, but there was a small amount. So if you've ever watched the movie called The Free State of Jones, that is where a white gentleman by the name of Newton Knight, who rebelled against Laurel, Jones County, rather, participating in slavery, because Newton Knight, who was a white man, didn't believe in having slaves, since most of the people who had slaves were rich people. And so he set up a revolt, in other words, to not be a part of this slavery. And that's why we're called the Free State of Jones, because Jones County became, as they say, called free, because he wanted to free all of the slaves so that we would not participate in the slave trade.
Is that right? So is he a hero?
Yes, he's a hero. He was married to a white lady, but he dated, slept with his slave, Rachel, and there are descendants of Rachel still right here in Jones County. So some of his great granddaughters, they came to the museum. They came even this year when we had our open house of the opening of Black History Month. And so those are his great granddaughters. And the movie is Matthew McConaughey. He plays Newt Knight in the movie called The Free State of Jones. So you have to check that movie out, and it'll show you and tell you all about this area.
Okay, but you said something that I don't know if you said it right. You said he had slaves?
No. He dated a slave by the
Okay.
name of Rachel. And some of Rachel's descendants and
I
Luke's
got you.
descendants are still right here in the county. And when you go out to the cemetery, you will see Newt has his wife buried on one side of him, and then he has Rachel, his slave, buried on the other side of him.
Not his slave, but a slave.
A slave, his
Yeah,
girlfriend,
yeah,
who he had children
yeah,
with,
yeah, yeah.
as they say.
So where was she enslaved at? A plantation in another town, evidently.
This was in Soso, Mississippi. That's about 30 minutes, not even 30 minutes, maybe 15 minutes from Laura. So in other words, you got Laura, and then you have another community called Soso. So in Soso, Mississippi, that is where he lived with his wife on one side and this lady Rachel, who was a slave.
Oh, I okay. Now we really clear. And so, is there monuments? Is there a statue in his honor or something like that in your town?
Well, they have his name mentioned on a side on a historical sign in Ellisville, Mississippi, where the Decent House. It's a house in Ellisville known as the Decent House that they say when the Confederate soldier was in there, trying to capture the slaves to fight. That allegedly Newt was the person who went in and killed the military man who was.
Really,
Yes, there's a house called the Decent House that it has. The legend has it that Newt was the person that went in and shot the man.
really. So he put his life on the line then.
That's right, for what he believed in. So when you watch the movie, you will see that he put his life on the line. He did agree to fight in the Confederate War. He did. He had a nephew. Was it his nephew to get killed in the war? But then he got back to his real reason is I'm not here to fight a rich man's war about slaves because he wasn't rich.
So he wasn't rich himself. Yeah,
No, he
yeah.
wasn't rich.
What was is Laurel? Did it have cotton fields?
Out in the county part, like out in the outskirts, because Laura is considered the city limits, but out in the outskirts of Laura, there were cotton fields.
Oh, what's in the town now? I mean, is it got a little downtown? I
Yes,
shouldn't
we have
say
a we
little,
have a
but
downtown area that was revitalized. Like I said, when the TV show came, they went into the revitalization of downtown. And
oh,
as a matter of fact, this museum sits downtown in the historical district of downtown Laurel.
and what was the building that it sits in? Was it something itself like a school, or what was
Well,
it
this
previously?
building was built in 1915, and as a matter of fact, the importance of this building for me is when I was coming along, growing up, my mother and I we worked here in this building. It used to be a law office, so it was a law firm. When I was coming up as a teenager, I worked here with my mother, and later on, it was a community mental health facility. So it was turned into, the rental property was rented out to different people. The owner of the building has rented it out to several people.
Yeah. Now, like I say, it's been a couple years since you've been on. What kind of things have you been doing? I know one of the things we talked about was that you had a march down to City
Yes,
Hall.
we did. We
That
had a
yeah,
unity
go
in the
ahead.
community march, and I'm proud to say that this year, for Black History Month, February the 1st, we had our first Black History Parade. We had a parade in downtown Ellisville. And why I chose Ellisville is because Ellisville is the city where I was able to get a marker place for John Hartfield, who was a black man that was lynched in Ellisville in 1919. So that is the reason I chose to have the first Black History Parade downtown through the town of Ellisville. Just like how they marched him through the town and lynched him, we marched through the town to celebrate Black history.
Really? And so,
Yes,
how
we
far is
did.
that town from your city?
Just 20 minutes. Just 20
Okay.
minutes. Just 20
Okay.
minutes. So it was and we had the honor of having Mr. Tommy Pruitt, who's a local blues artist who has played with Muddy Waters, BB King. He's 93 years old, and he had never been honored in the town. So we took the opportunity in December to honor him here at the museum. We had what was called Blues on Fifth Street. The museum is located on 5th Street. So we took the opportunity to honor Mr. T-Bone Pruitt here at the museum with other blues artists. We had Rashad the Blues Kid, who is our renowned blues kid for the Pine Belt Blues. And we had Mr. Jock Webb, who's a harmonica player out of Alabama. So they came in and we did a seminar and did some jamming with Mr. Pruitt playing through the Mississippi Humanities Council. We were able to receive a small grant to host this great event here at the museum. Since, like I said, since last we spoke, that was in 2022. That is
Yeah.
when we secured the building in 2022. And it took us a while to get it up to par because it had just been sitting dormant for many years. And so from August of 2022 to February the 1st of 2023, it's when we had our grand opening of the Black History Museum downtown Laurel. We had hundreds of people inside this building that day. Cars were everywhere. I was just so proud to see people wanting to see the vision of what I had. And our guest speaker was none other than attorney John Pierre, who was the chancellor of the University of Southern Law School. And Mr. Pierre came in and gave the backdrop and the historical perspective of Mississippi, Laurel, and Black History museums. And he challenged the mayor and the community to make sure that they put money into this. But of course, that has not happened. So the museum is primarily funded on my salary that I have as a social worker. Of course, we get a few donations here and a few donations there. But we were looking forward to we've written a grant to Washington, D.C. But of course, as of Friday, Trump has eliminated the Institute of Museum and Library Services. So those are the services where museums and libraries are able to secure funding. But he signed an executive order on Friday to eliminate the whole service.
Dang.
To just eliminate it. And we're talking about this funding goes to museums all over the United States of America. And so he has decided on the executive order, unless we get it overturned, to just eliminate it. It's a waste. You know, that's why they're going around, him and Musk, cutting things that they feel is a waste. So evidently they feel museums and contributing to
That's not
museums.
just black museums, that's white
No,
museums.
that's all. That's all museums. That's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
That's all museums. That's where you go to get your funding to keep you going. You know, this was my first time ever applying. So this was the first time we had made an application for the funds. And just Friday, we got the news that the Institute had been, he signed an executive order to eliminate it.
Wow.
Yes.
We're going to talk maybe. I don't want to go into that deep because ain't nothing we can say other than
That's
everybody
right.
donate some money to the museum.
That's right.
And
Amen. Amen.
yeah, we're gonna put the information on the back side where you can talk about the website and cash apps
Yes,
and
we have
things
a
of that
cash app.
sort.
Yes, sir.
But did that was huge for you to have fulfilled that goal of getting this building?
Yes. Yes.
What
The
did you do before that though? Had the
gentleman who
building.
owns the building, what happened was I used to pass by the building all the time, going to my job. And so noticing that it was empty, so my godson indicated maybe you should just find out who owned it. So I called the tax place. They told me the gentleman's name, and I looked him up on Facebook. That's what we do to everybody and anybody. If they can be found on Facebook, that's what I did. I reached out to him on Facebook, and we came into the building, and he said the next day, meet me there. So I did. I met him here at the building. That's where I'm sitting today. I met him at the building the next day, and we walked around, and he said, Miss Marion, I know you. I followed you. And I was like, wow. Okay. So he went on to tell the story of how he watched me the day we had the news broadcast in reference to the lynching marker. So where we placed the lynching marker for John Hartfield was right across the street from one of his businesses, which was an auto body shop. So he said, I watched you when you were giving that interview and talking about that lynching. And when you reached out to me, I felt that this was something that I needed to do, that I need to allow you into this building. You, because like I said, it was been needed a lot of repairs. He said, you just go on into the building, you do the repairs, and we'll discuss money later. And so that's the importance of why we were working so hard to get a grant in order to continue fixing the building as well as purchasing the spot permanently from him. So that was the whole goal of what we're trying to do, is to purchase this building so that this home will always be the location for the museum.
When when um when you started out on this, what did you hope would happen? Why do you do this? Let's ask that question.
Okay, when I started out, it was a mobile museum. I had all these artifacts in my home. You know, we're talking about 25 years of collecting things. 25 years, I just went around and I just collected black memorabilia. It was just my thing, you know. It wasn't I started out intentional to have a museum. No. I was collecting things that I enjoyed. I didn't have any 25 years ago, I didn't have any children. This was my thing. You know, people collect pocketbooks, people collect shoes, people collect books. I took the opportunity to collect black art. And so some friends and we were just sitting around talking one day, and they would say, we need to do something for Black history. And I said, well, maybe we should have an art show. And they said, well, what are we going to get the things to show at the art show? And I said, well, I have them. And they were like blown away. Because, you know, I didn't let people visit my house. And so when I started bringing some of the examples of the things that I had, you know, from wood carvings to books to black dolls to black sheet music. And so when we did this show in 2020 of February, people were amazed. We only did it for one day. February, we only did it for one day in 2020. And when people came through and they were just so amazed, like, where was all of this stuff? And I was like, well, it was in my home. And see, here in Laurel, we do have a museum. We have the Lauren Rogers Museum that has been in existence for 100 years. So when I would visit there, I would always say, why there are no us there? There is some us there. I'm not going to say there's no black art there. But when I speak of us, I was speaking of like this picture you see over my shoulder.
Right.
When I speak of us, I speak of her. This is an art piece that was given to me this year. This is a portrait of Lynn Team Price. Lynn Team Price is a renowned opera singer.
That's right.
She has sung all over the world. And when you go to the Lauren Rogers Museum, there is no Lynn Team Price picture. And I question why. Somebody need to do something. And that somebody was me. There was no need of me just saying somebody need to do what I knew, that I had a collection of black art in my house so that we can honor our black people who are renowned here in Laurel. And so a friend of a friend, this man just called me cold turkey and said, Miss Miriam, my name is Barry Summerall, and I have a friend who's an artist. And I said, okay. So he said his name is Mr. Lamont Hopkins. I said, Lamont Hopkins. And I kept, you know how you're pondering your mind because you know the word, you know that name. And then I said, Lamont. I said, yes, I know who that is. And he does Creole art. This man has things in Paris. This man has things all over the world. Some of his paintings that he has done, some of his brooches that he's done that focused it on the Creole art of New Orleans, where, you know, the black and the white people came together and they were called Creole, the lighter skinned blacks.
Right.
And so Mr. Hopkins, that was his thing. His thing was painting the Creole. So when his friend Barry asked him about doing something for the museum, he was like, I'm honored. And to know that this man took the time out of his schedule to paint a one of one piece of art for this little old museum here in Laurel, Mississippi. So when he showed up on February the 1st, he was like, I'm blown away to know that this is a one or two people show that you have all of these artifacts. And so when we unveiled the painting of Leontine, the people were really amazed. She's still alive. She had her birthday February the 10th.
No,
She's
really?
98 years old.
Really? Didn't know that. Okay.
She's 98 years old.
Let me go back to again. You said you was collecting it. Where were you getting your stuff from?
The things that I collect, I would go to art shows, I would go to flea markets, I would go to garage sales, I would look online, I would go to eBay, I
Oh,
would,
I see.
yeah,
I see.
I would
Yeah.
go to, marketplace. And so I would just venture out. And, at that
Yeah.
time, I was living in Minnesota. I lived in Minnesota for 10 years. And so whenever I saw, one of my first things I started collecting were Mammy dolls.
Yeah.
Mammy dolls was the first artifact that I started. Then when my mother challenged me to find out who is Mammy, so then I started researching who is Mammy. Mammy in Gone with the Wind, Hattie McDaniel. Hattie McDaniel is the first Black woman to win an Oscar.
That's
It
right.
was not Halle Berry. It
That's
was
right.
Hattie McDaniel.
Right.
So when she challenged me to find out who that was, then that made me proud, to know that Hattie McDaniel was a Black lady who won an award for her portrayal in movies. Of course, Black people got upset with her because they were saying she was pigeonholing Black
Yeah.
people
Yeah.
as maids. But as Mammy said, I'd rather play a maid than to be a maid.
Yeah. That's right. Yeah. That's right. So you would get this art was you said you started with the dolls and then you would see something and say it's old and I just like it
And
and
I
that
just
kind of
like
thing.
it. Yeah, and I just like it. And that's how I just started. I would just start in like African carvings. I would just start and I would just see something. And I had an eye for just selecting only certain pieces. So when people come in here, you see just certain things. People like, how did she do that? It wasn't a rhyme or reason. It was just I saw it, I looked at it, and I knew that this was something that I wanted to have.
Hey, let me ask you this, and you can answer this or not. Have you ever found a piece that one day you found out was worth a lot of money?
Oh yeah, I have pieces in here that are worth a lot of money. And I'll tell you, I have a collection of pieces. Just recently, a gentleman by the name of Gregory Crumley is from Florida. He was in the military. And in the military, his plane was shot down. And while he was recuperating, he began to sketch and do art. And so in his sketching and doing art, all of a sudden he turned into an artist. So what he did when he got out of the military, he became a forensic scientist, for the police station where you draw the criminals, where somebody described who the person was, and that's what he did. And then he realized, got something here. So then he started doing art. So now Mr. Crumley, he has pieces even in the Pentagon. Oh well,
Really?
it might not be there now.
Yeah, 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 yeah. So were you ever, when you look back, were you ever an activist like this? Because you know what I'm
I've
saying.
always
Now,
I've
now, now
always
you
been
are an
a
activist in some
Yeah, I've
respects.
always been a community activist. I've always been on the front line helping people. So I combine all of my skills. I combine activism, I combine social work, and being a preacher. So I put all of those things together to become a servant of the people. And now I've ran for political office before, but I stay in the arena whether I've never won an election, but even though I don't win, I still advocate and advocate for people from all walks of life. So advocating was just a natural instinct that I've always had.
So everybody in town know you.
That's correct. That's correct. So
Yeah.
I'm a very visible out there person, not to the extreme, but I would, hold marches like we had before. We discussed the Unity March where the gentleman came out with the guns and the rebel flags. We would have, like I had the Black History Parade. If two or three are gathered, it's okay. The part of the thing was to put press on it, and the newspaper, the news stations did show up because they know when Miss Marion says she's finna have an event, she's getting ready to have an event because I'm shining light on whatever that situation may be.
Do you and I know you have, like with the building and so on and so forth. Have there been white people that stepped up for you
Yes,
other
the,
than
the
the
gentleman
building?
with the building, the
Yeah.
majority of the people who have visited the building are white people.
Okay. I don't know if you're
They
gonna
have, and
answer
they've
this
come from all
question.
over. People have come from all over. We don't have a website, but we do have a web page. And when you Google this, you could type in Laura and it brings up, museums, and we are on there. We are recognized by the state of Mississippi. So that's good to know that we are, when you can go to the site about the state of Mississippi and type in museums, they have the bullet points to show you where all of them are located, and we are on their map. And so we've been placed in magazines. A lady came by. She's visiting 50 states, and she's 50 towns, and just seeing what's in the town. And inside her magazine, she mentioned the Laura Jones County Black History Museum. She came by here. The economic board called me, and I met her here, and she was just fascinated. Another lady that's writing a book about her experience, coming up with a black nanny. She came by the museum. A film crew. We have been featured on Vibe magazine, Vibe, which is a film crew. They came, and I took them out to a lynching site. So, a lady from New York Times have visited. So I've had a lot of different people to come through here, and I'm very proud of that.
If I may ask you, and you can answer this or what have you, why don't black people love you more? I'm only taking for granted that they don't.
I have no idea. I've always wondered that. What is this? Why is this? Even just like I laugh about it now. Even in the race that I'm in currently, you put out your campaign signs, and so every day I'll go back through, or every other day, and look at the signs. You see signs have been destroyed. I don't know. I've never done anything to anybody. If I don't feel I've done anything to anybody. But most people tell me when that question is posed to me, and they say, people really are jealous of you. When people can't do what you do, they want to be you. They would like to do what you do, but they're not able. Just like when I started out on this journey of this museum, like I said, we had a show downtown at the YWCO, myself and three other people. So even in that beginning, that humble beginning, that show, there was, to be honest, there was chaos. Chaos took place, but I masked it well. We got through show A, we got to show B, and I don't know. The guy just flipped out. The people just flipped out. But I came back. I came back into the Y, and I repositioned all the artifacts because no one knew how to put the artifacts in order because how they go is in my mind. It's on my paper. Because I can't explain to them how to do it because when you have a vision, like they said, write the vision and make it plain. That's what I did. When the vision came, I wrote it down on my paper. So I carried my own notebook of how these things should appear, just like in this building. The things appear in this building. When you come into this room is like walking into your mother's living room. So that's how, in my mind, I staged it. I have my mother antique couch in here. I have a piano that a lady in the community gave me. And then when you go through the door, you walk into Kemet, the land of the black. Most people call it Egypt, but upon doing research, and you realize that Kemet, the Nubian. It's not Egypt. It is Egypt, Africa. That is correct. But we got to use the right name. So
I
I
got
had
you.
I had Kemet down on my paper. And inside that room, when people walk in and they see King Tut, Nefertiti, Cleopatra, they are really shocked to know that those people were black. Inside that room, I took the opportunity to find those posters. If you can remember when Budweiser had those posters that they had in clubs
Yeah,
with
right,
the beer on there, with the
right.
black kings and queen. I took the time to find those. I got them out of California so that black people could see this poster. Yes, you see the Budweiser. We were busy drinking Budweiser and not focusing on who we are, who we were. And so I put those there so that they could see Mansa Musa, so they could see Shaka Zulu, and you will understand. And I just don't let you just see a poster, see the artifacts. Each room has books. So inside that space, you're gonna locate a book. You're gonna locate books. Then when you go to the next room, I call it slavery. There's some slave chains. There's some books about slavery. There's pictures that people art that a family gave me. The lady indicated that that is a portrait of from the roots. That is his mother and father on that picture in the eyesight of what
Wow.
that artist was from the movie Roots. And so then the next room is called the Great Room. The Great Room is where when we have events, when we have a hosting event, that room has the chairs in there. But inside that room, I bring you to the notable people of Laurel. The Lentine Price. I bring you to her brother, Brigadier General Price, the Olympic champion, the #2 brain surgeon in the United States of America, Dr. Deborah Hyde. See, I portray those people. When you walk into that room, you see the great room. These are great people from right here in Laurel, Mississippi. Then we have the Mammy Room. Of course, Mammy people view it as a negative, but I took the opportunity. Mammy gets her own room because in my heart, she's a positive. So we flipped the script. From Mammy being a negative, blackface being a negative, we show it as art.
I love
This
it.
is a piece of art. And so when we're done with the lower floor, we're gonna have the civil rights room, we're gonna have the education room, we're gonna have the civil service room. Down the hallway, we have the sports memorabilia. And our last room is called Black Wall Street, where we will honor and pay homage to all our black businesses. If you sell popsicles, you sell ice cream, you a barber, we want to take those shelves and put your picture and your business cards there. So when people visit the museum, you want some soul food, you can say, I can go to Miss Annie and get some soul food.
I love it. How about this? Can you using your cell phone? Can you walk around with it and show us?
Oh, sure.
Yeah, yeah, that would be yeah. Just you don't have to give a whole lot of discussion. Turn it sideways and just you can yeah, and I can edit. Yeah. Show us the rooms. Yeah.
Okay. This is the, let's see, let me turn it out. How did I turn it out?
Flip the camera. You mean?
That's what I'm trying to say.
Uh,
There it
there you
is.
go.
Okay. Now this is our front room. So when we had our jazz, we pay homage to jazz and the blues. This is our front living room right here. So when
Yeah.
you walk through the door, you're able to see paying homage to jazz and our blues. And
Mm.
of course, we have bookshelves. This room has bookshelves paying homage to black artists. And over here, this when you first walk in, this bookshelf is of people who have written books that are from Laurel, Jones County area. So
Mm.
that's what this bookshelf shows.
Okay.
Our next room, this is the Kemet room. Let me turn the light on.
Yeah. Yeah, I see it.
This is our Kemet room.
Yeah.
And see,
Love
when I
it.
talk about the
Yeah.
books, here's our kings. Here's Mansa Musa. So we make sure that we pay homage. There's Zulu.
Yeah.
This is our king currently in Ghana. This is our slavery room. So we start with telling you about the slave trade. I actually did purchase these slave chains off of eBay. Mm-hmm. This is a local artist did this picture of Africa. And there's the bookshelf. Everybody is educated.
Yeah.
You come in. That's the curtains of the slave ship, and we make sure you see the ship as it how we were packed in there.
Yeah.
How we were packed in there. This is the last slave ship that came to Alabama.
You
I'm
could
looking
tell that.
forward. Yeah, I'm looking forward to visiting there.
Africa Town?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
These are the pictures as we talked about roots. That's the painting that the family members gave me in reference to the roots painting. And Kuta Kinte's mama and daddy. This right here will eventually turn into a bookstore. So this will be a bookstore eventually. That's my hope and dream of what that would be. And then down this hall is
That's a
where,
big building. Oh my God.
yes, when I talked about the guy Greg Crumley from
Yeah.
Florida,
Yeah.
who did all of this artwork for me.
Oh.
This is his grandparents and his great granddaddy, who was Native American and black. But
Yeah.
this is some of his artwork. When I mentioned about the gentleman having the artwork in the Pentagon, that's Greg, the
Right.
forensic scientist. And of course, this is Cynthia St. James. She did the artwork for when we talk about Juneteenth.
Right.
She's the one who did. This is her piece of Juneteenth for the state of Texas.
Yeah, that's a big
This is
building.
our mammy room.
Yeah.
And I'm proud to show mammy as an art piece, not just something negative. This
Right.
is pop light for Hattie McDaniel. People are fascinated by these right here.
Yeah. It's a bank, ain't it?
The Jolly Nigger Bank.
Yeah.
So I let them know that all of this may view as negative, but we flipped it to be a positive.
I love it.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, I love it. Um, yeah, that's
And,
real nice.
and eventually we'll get done with the other 5 rooms at the back. I'm hoping to get them done with them within the next 90 days. But
Oh,
like I
really?
said, working on my own budget and a few limited donations, that's how we're going to get there.
Yes.
And that's
Oh,
the gentleman. This is the picture of the gentleman that did the Lentine Price portrait that I was talking about.
yeah. Yeah.
That's Lamar.
Okay. If you, would you lose reception if you went outside to show us the building?
Oh, let me turn the camera.
I still see you.
This is our down. When I talk about downtown, downtown is straight down this street. And this is the front of the building.
Oh, I love it. I
So
love
that's
it.
why
It looked like it was a house, though. I'm sure it
it
was.
was. It
Yeah, it
was
was
a
a house.
house. The
Yeah, it
house
was
was
a
built
house.
in.
Yeah.
It was built in 1915.
Yes, I love it.
Yes, it was built in 1915. So that's why we are wanting. We were, hoping that we will be able to. We ain't gonna give up hope that we
Yeah.
get a grant so that we can purchase this building, and because like I said, you see it's upstairs as well. There's 6 rooms upstairs. So
Wow.
upstairs we're gonna do programming as well, and eventually our long range hope and dream is to. You see that house over there? Don't want to talk too loud. The same man owns this property, owns that property. So we want to acquire all the property so we can navigate who's next to us.
And that's a parking lot that people can come up to your parking lot.
Yes, this is the parking lot to the museum, right?
Yeah, yeah.
This is the parking lot to this house.
Okay.
And so it's a beautiful neighborhood.
Yeah, it is.
Quiet, you know. Downtown is directly down the road right there.
Yes.
End up downtown 5 minutes away, 2 minutes away.
Oh,
That's
man.
downtown Laurel.
Okay. All right, turn it on yourself as we kind of come to a close. So when is the election?
The election is April the 1st.
So you hard at it right now then.
Yeah, when I get off with you, I'm putting my other tennis shoes on so I can hit the streets.
It's your birthday. You got to take a day off.
No, you can't rest. Ain't no rest for a politician. You got to keep going.
So where you gonna go?
I'm going down to the neighborhood, and just knock on the doors and put the flyers out there, and let people know here I am, and I'm on these streets to let you know that I'm running and I'm here to serve you. I am a servant of the people.
Good luck on the election.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Good luck on the election.
Thank you.
And I know you're gonna win because God got you. He got plans for you, and you.
Thank you.
Right way, and you still can do that because it's probably part-time city council.
It is. It's just a part-time job. Yes, I work, and even on my own job, I came out of full-time work to work part-time so that I could run the museum as well as run for political office, and then it'll all work together.
Yeah, it's all gonna work. And then glasses are sharp too.
Why, thank you. I bought these for my birthday. I bought these for my birthday.
Yeah, them cute. Thank you for coming back on Strong Inspirations and showing us the museum. I'm coming down there because I told you I'll be close. And we're going to get a chance to meet. And I'm going to hug you and take you to dinner and everything, all that good stuff.
Well, we're looking forward to coming to Mount Bayou. I love the Johnson brothers. I really do.
Yeah, thank you so much. Is there, I always have to ask, is there, you get the closing word. Is there something that you want us to people to, say what you want to say?
I want people to let this video go worldwide and people come out and support this museum. Send your contributions. We have a Cash App, $ Laurel, LAUREL, Black, just BLHX Museum. That's $ LAUREL, BLHX Museum.
All right. And what's the website you said?
We don't have a website, but we have a Facebook site that you can go to. And we're on Facebook, and you can always reach out to me at 601-323-9418. My email is ma04997771@gmail.com. And that's Marian, MARIAN, Allen, ALLEN. On Facebook, that is my name, my number. It's on my site.
Yeah, all right. We ain't gonna go over no person. Thank you so very much for coming on, everybody. Anthony Brogdon, I told you he was gonna like this.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, this is good. Happy birthday once again. You don't look your age by no stretch.
59 and doing fine.
You don't look your age at all.
Thank you so much.
You're in good shape and everything.
I try to hold it together.
Yeah, your God blessing you in that regard for sure. And your mind is solid too.
Thank you.
Dark.
Thank you.
And and I think one thing that helps people with life is when you have goals.
Yes.
You have something you work for. You got something to wake up to. And a little stress is a part of that. Ain't that no accomplishment just gonna be easy.
That's right. It's not gonna be easy.
No, it ain't gonna be easy. And you've had things that come at you hard, that look for, and it all went past.
It
all came out on the other end, and this is too, in terms of what you're doing.
Yes.
So on and so forth. So everybody hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. There is no love button. Hit the notifications bell. Tell somebody about Strong Inspirations. Don't keep it to yourself. And please, my friends, do what you can for that museum. Go down there. Support them. Tell people about them.
Yes.
And so on and so forth. Let's make it even better and let those dreams of hers come through to fruition quickly. And it will be because of us. who do that. I thank you again. With that, I'll
Thank you
say
for
bye
having
bye.
me.
We out. Yep.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you. Bye bye.